So I came across Codebar. I've been a part of another meetup in Brighton for quite a few years, and it was a good while back that I first came across them. They did a collaboration, one of the meetups. We had some Codebar guests, and it was a collaborative event. And it was the first time hearing of, even I hadn't thought about even kind of coaching or getting involved in something like that. I didn't know it existed. Sank right in for me. I thought that sounds awesome. Sign me up, and here I am.
I came across Codebar around 3 years ago when I met a couple of the organizers that were doing a training program in the same place I was working on. They explained me what Codebar was, and it got me curious because at that moment in time I was interested in practicing coaching, and I didn't know how. This was like a perfect fit.
I came across Codebar by someone posting in a developer community, asking for people to join a session the following day, and they explained what it was, and I just saw that message and I was like, wow, this sounds exactly like the thing I've been looking for.
I chose Codebar because it matches my philosophies quite well. But programming is a craft, it's quite a creative field. And for that to flourish, it needs people of a lot of backgrounds. If it becomes too single-minded or narrow-minded, it will not get as far as it could. By providing that opportunity, just felt right. And Codebar definitely is leading that charge.
Having been a junior developer in the recent past, I know how hard it is to get a job in tech these days. I want to give back to the community through Codebar to help more people develop coding skills.
In a nutshell, I would say helping others give back to the community and helping myself grow in my communication skills.
To get used to working in pairs with other people and explaining problems and kind of learning from them as well, because there's often things that you think you know but you haven't really realised, and you need to kind of, by explaining it or looking it up, you learn things yourself. I think my favourite thing actually is the inclusiveness. So as a trans woman, I feel very included. You know, it's great for any minority actually, and you know, people underrepresented in tech. That's the whole point.
Being able to come to an outcome at the end of something, being able to work with someone that you've never worked with before, and being able to produce something at the end of it is such a great feeling. And knowing that you're helping someone as well is, yeah, it's absolutely great.
But professionally for me, it changed my attitude to how I work and how I work with others. Just that opportunity to very intentionally mentor students at Codebar has actually bled into kind of more of what I get out of my career and what I like to do day to day.
Seeing that no matter who you are, what is your level of experience, what is your background, what is your race, your culture, doesn't matter what, Codebar is a safe space for everybody.
I think it's just the right forum for a lot of people to discover technology in a kind of safe environment.
I think the biggest highlight I've had was actually working with a student last year. They were working on quite an ambitious React project. It's amazing with students that don't have such a kind of background and experience that they will come with just a great idea without any sort of, they won't be held back on it. That's one burden. When you get more experiences, you sort of limit your ideas because you're always thinking a little bit forward into implementation. We just covered kind of the challenges. So some parts kind of in that project where she'd just get stuck. Then she was invited to demo that project to the Brighton Codebar chapter. And I hadn't even seen the kind of polished, finished version, and it was incredible. It was so professional. It just come together as a whole package. We just sort of worked on these little pieces together, but then she'd gone and sort of filled out all of the detail to that. And yeah, it was just a really proud moment to see someone kind of run with, kind of just by removing some of those obstacles, someone got a lot further than I would have expected at that stage.
I would definitely say going into a session, and say you were teaching React, but you hadn't used React in a while, being able to go into a session and help someone build something when you haven't used something in a while or you don't know how to do it, that is the best thing that has come out of Codebar.
As a coach, I really enjoyed sort of progressing a project with someone, so maybe kind of getting a chance to catch up with them week on week and just see their progress, which is amazing. someone considering a career in technology shouldn't be put off because they don't know everything up front. I think that worries a lot of people when they want to start a career that perhaps they don't know enough. I think that there is a certain level you need to get to be able to, fit in nicely in a team. But, in the right place, in a challenging environment, you can gain those skills fairly rapidly.
Ask questions about the industry, ask questions if you're stuck, utilise Codebar, talk to people with experience, and use that knowledge that they have.
A lot of developers in this industry also suffer from imposter syndrome. It's not just junior developers. So as long as you're persistent, you work on it, you keep learning and improving, you will be able to get a job. Just believe in yourself and keep working on it.
Definitely surround yourself with people who are already at different stages in their career. Go to meetups. Codebar is obviously a great place to come, but there's a lot of other meetups that are very welcoming, and it's not something that, in order to go to, say, some kind of tech talk or whatnot, no one's saying, where do you work or do you belong here? All these places are always very open and welcoming, and it gives you a better sense of the people who already work in tech.
People with little amount of experience is always afraid of doing mistakes and being judged because of it, when in fact, in this sector, even the most experienced people do mistakes on a regular basis, myself included. And in these moments where you do the mistakes is where you actually learn a lot and the most. So, in a nutshell, don't deny yourself this learning opportunity.
Students are coming from further afield. There are plenty of students who haven't been able to access Codebar because they don't live near a chapter, and so being able to both kind of see and have visibility of those parts of the community and get them involved, but also I've had the opportunity to coach some students who are much further afield. That's been good fun, and it's great. It's just, it feels, again, linking back to Codebar's sort of diversity mission, it felt like a good way to remove another barrier for a lot of people. So while I'm quite looking forward to some of our in-person sessions again, there's a part of that is missed. I hope kind of in the future to strike a balance between in-person and online sessions. I definitely want to keep up online sessions alongside the in-person sessions here.
In person, you can pay attention to the nonverbal cues, and you can understand if the student is stuck or frustrated. And in remote, this was a bit more difficult, so we had to find other tips and tricks to understand when this was happening with a student. One big surprise that happened transitioning to remote coaching is that suddenly location doesn't matter. So I had the chance to coach people from different countries, not just people located in my city, which opens it exposes you to more cultures, more people, more ways of seeing things.
For someone considering coaching at Codebar, I'd say don't think that you need to come here with all the answers. It's not an environment where you're some university level lecturer who has some deep knowledge of whatever you're coaching on. Often the case is you just want to outpace your student and also enjoy it. I think I notice coaches who have leagues of experience, more than me, and they're reluctant because they feel like they're not in a position to teach it, as if you'd need some kind of textbook knowledge of programming or a particular subset. So I'd say just get involved and see how you like it, but I think you'll be surprised and you'll also be amazed. It might feel like it's a lot to give up a couple hours here and there of your valuable time to help someone who's just starting out, but you'll be surprised how much actually you learn from the experience as well. It's definitely not a one-way street. There's two kind of learning experiences happening at the same time there, and it's not like anything you'll be able to do professionally.